or roots of a polynomial function. We should already know by now.
Hey, Evan. How are you today? Oh, I'm pretty good. I like Tuesday, Thursday because I can sleep till 7 or 7:30 as opposed to having to get up at 5. Did you like the activity we did in class yesterday? Better than just a boring review? Was there anything in particular that you wanted to go over today? I was trying to, I was going to just pull up some problems from the workbook, or not the textbook, and go over them just to go over examples for the quiz tomorrow, just specific things. And so if there's not anything specific, then I will just work. Oh, Lord, please help me. I'm looking for my stylus. Then I'll just work through some of the problems. And I still have not figured out how to I'll share the screen, but I still haven't figured out how to keep the chat window open and do the screen. So I'll have to switch back and forth to see if you have any questions. So I'll work a problem and then come back to this screen and see if you have any questions, and then I'll move on to the next one. So as you know, when I'm writing, I can't really see what you're saying to me till I come back. But let me try to share my screen and start. Do you see a blank screen? Okay. So the first one I'm going to do is this one. So in this, we have multiplication going on. So the opposite or the inverse operation for multiplication is division. So to isolate n, we would divide both sides by 7. And 7 goes into 112. Looks like 16 times. And that's going to be negative because I've got a negative divided by a positive. So my final answer is negative 16. Equals n. Sorry, I was getting a phone call from another math teacher, so I want to text her and let her know I'm in math lab. Oh, you asked what the buzzing was. Sorry, was it really loud? Okay. Let me text her. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, I'll move my phone off the table. I think it was loud because the phone was on the table with the computer, so I think that extra vibration. Okay, did that particular problem make sense to you? Okay. So you would know that the inverse operation was division and all of that good stuff, right? And when you divide a negative number by a positive number, your answer is going to be negative. Those are the key things, just to keep all those positive and negative numbers straight too. That's pretty important. All right, well, I'm going to erase that one and go over another one. As a reminder, I want to go over some square root things. If you have a problem that looks like this, you want to solve for the square root. So the square root of 4 is what? Go ahead and type it and I'll switch back over. Good job. Okay. All right. Thanks for letting me know about the tutoring. Okay. And yes, 2 is correct. So for this, you have to carry these signs with you. So your final answer for this is going to be plus or minus 2. And you can write it like that, or you can write it like this. Either way. But you'll probably see that again, Evan. So that's a big hint to you. Just saying. All right. And the other thing, if there was just a minus on the outside, then your final answer would just be minus. Like that. So those are 2 possibilities for you to think about on those. All right. I'm going to go over another problem, 2 more problems since you only have 10 minutes. I'm going to go over, yes, 2 more with you that I think are pretty important. You might actually want to write these down. 2/3 t equals 18. On a problem like this, you're going to want to multiply by the reciprocal of the fraction to clear the fraction. And then simplify before you multiply. That clears it on this side to isolate our variable t. And over here, we have 1's now in the denominator since we simplified before we multiplied. And we have a 9 times 3, which gives us a 27. Does that make sense to you? Did you get that written down? And do you think you could do that on your own? Okay. Because another big hint, I hope you wrote that problem down before you leave for tutoring, because that is, you will probably see that again. Hint, hint. So make sure you do that one. And I'm going to do another one that's fairly similar, but you handle it slightly different to make sure you can tell the difference. Okay? Okay. Now this one, there's a fraction in it, but there's a variable in the fraction. So on this one, it's almost like multiplying by the reciprocal, but technically what we're doing is the operation going on here. That was supposed to be an arrow. Technically the operation going on here is division. So the opposite or inverse operation of division is multiplication. So I'm going to multiply both sides by -3. I had to make room for my 1 there. So now these cancel out, and I'm multiplying this side by -3. So I have a negative times a negative, which gives me a positive, and that's going to be 90. And these -3's have canceled out, so my final answer is F equals 90. Do you see the difference between the two problems? Okay, great. Did you get this one down? Good. All right. One last problem. And I think I have time, right? I got a couple minutes. Okay. Okay. This last one is 9 fourths y minus 2 equals 25. Okay. Remember, we work PEMDAS in reverse. So we're looking for addition and subtraction first to undo it. And we do see some right here. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. And that's going to give me 27 here. And this cancels out. So now I have a 9 fourths y equals 27. And to clear this fraction, I'm going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. Then I'm going to simplify before I multiply. Here they cancel. And I have a 1, 2 ones down there, and I've got 3 times 4, which is 12. So my final answer is 12. Did that make sense? Okay. Do you see the differences in all 3 of those problems? Okay. Because I know there's like fractions in each one, and I feel like that's the part that you guys kind of struggle with the most. Or when you see fractions in the problem, where do I start? And, which one do I do? That seems to be the most difficult. Do we have time for another one? Okay. Oh, no problem. It's not a problem at all. You have a good day. I hope you got all those down. Bye. Hey, Natty Grace, sorry about that. I just had another math teacher call me and asked me a question about some software. So anyway, can you see, I had been working some problems on the, just kind of as a review for the quiz tomorrow, just to show some differences on. Mostly what I did was work on ones that had fractions in them, different types of fractions. Did you have a specific question, or are you just coming to say hey?
I had a question on one of the ones on the challenge paper.
Oh, okay. All right, let me pull that up over here. So I've got it in front of me. I'm operating my math lab on one computer and trying to use my other computer to show me which one was that?
Like which one the paper was or the problem?
The paper, so I can pull the paper up.
It was lesson 2.4.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Let me pull that up real quick. All righty. It's loading. Which one?
Number 8.
All right, let me read it. Alicia has 5 times as many dimes as she has quarters. Combine the dimes and quarters to total 975. How many dimes does Alicia have? So what you would want to do is make your, she has 5 times as many dimes as she does quarters. So you'll make your, okay, my pencil won't write. Equal quarters. 5x equals dimes.
What's the equation?
Okay, hold on. Let me get to my. So what you'll want to do is make one of your one variable. Since you've got a comparison, you'll want to make one of the variables. So we'll make your quarters x. And your dimes, she's got 5 times as many. Like 5 times as many dimes as she does quarters. And so then you've got to plug in your value of your quarter and the value of your dime. It was $9.75, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then you figure that out from there. So you've got 0.75x, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and you divide both sides by 0.75. So your quarters are X, and your dimes, which were 5X, so it's 5 times 13. You got 65 dimes. Nice writing, don't you think?
Yes, definitely.
I thought you'd be impressed. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you see how I got there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, I guess I could have written it down here. There we go. All right. Does that help? Did you see how I got? You do see how I got there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Did you have any other questions?
No, that was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now you're good for the quiz tomorrow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. You're most welcome. Thanks for showing up.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.